Shalom and welcome back to day 33 of reading the Bible in 52 weeks. Woo! Lord, open my eyes as I turn to your word. I long to know you and to be changed by what you reveal. Please guide me with your truth today. Amen. Let's go. All right. The Lord spoke to Moses. Say to the Israelites, any Israelite or alien residing in Israel who gives any of his children to Moses must be put to death. The people of the country are to stone him. I will turn against that man and cut him off from his people because he gave his offspring to Molech, defiling my sanctuary and profaning my holy name. But if the people of the country look at the other way and the man gives any of his children to Molech and do not punish him to death, then I will turn against that man and his family and cut him off from the people, both him and all who follow him in prostituting themselves with Molech. Whoever turns to mediums or spirituals or prostitutes himself with them, I will turn against that person and cut him off from his people. Consecrate yourself and be holy, for I am the Lord your God. Keep my statutes and do them. I am the Lord who sets you apart. If anyone curses his father or mother, he must be put to death. He has cursed his father or mother. His death is his own fault. If a man commits adultery with a married woman, if he commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, but the adulterer and the adulteress must be put to death. If a man sleeps with his father's wife, he is to be violated an infamy that belongs to his father. Both of them must be put to death. Their death is their own fault. If a man sleeps with his daughter-in-law, both of the men must be put to death. They have acted perversely. Their death is their own fault. If a man sleeps with a man as a woman, they both have committed a detestable act. They must be put to death. Their death is their own fault. If a man marries a woman and her mother, it is depraved. Both he and they must be burned, so that there will be no depravity among you. If a man has sexual intercourse with an animal, he must be put to death. You are also to kill the animal. If a woman approaches any animal and mates with it, you are to kill the woman and the animal. They must be put to death. Their death is their own fault. If a man marries his sister, whether his father's daughter or his mother's daughter, and they have sexual relations, it is a disgrace. They are to be cut off publicly from their people. He has had sexual intercourse with his sister, he will bear his iniquity. If a man sleeps with a menstruating woman and has sexual intercourse with her, he has exposed the source of her flow, and she has uncovered the source of her blood. Both of them are to be cut off from their people. You must not have sexual intercourse with your mother's sister or your father's sister, for it is exposing one's own blood relative. Both people will bear their iniquity. If a man sleeps with his aunt, he has violated the infamy that belongs to his uncle. They will bear their guilt and die childless. If a man marries his brother's wife, it is impurity. He has violated the infamy that belongs to his brother. They will be childless. You are to keep all my statutes and all my ordinances and do them, so that the land where I am bringing you to live will not vomit you out. You must not follow the statutes of the nations I am driving out before you, for they did all these things, and I inherit them. And I promise you, you will inherit their land, since I will give it to you. Possess a land flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who set you apart from its people. Therefore, you are to distinguish the clean animal from the unclean one, and the unclean bird from the clean one. Do not become contaminated by any land animal, bird, or whatever crawls in the ground. I have set these apart as unclean for you. You are to be holy to me, because I, the Lord, am holy, and have set you apart from the nations to be mine. A man or a woman who is a medium or spiritualist must be put to death. They are to be stoned. Their death is their own fault. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron's son, the priest, and tell them, a priest is not to make himself ceremonially unclean for a dead person among his relatives, except for his immediate family, his mother, father, son, daughter, or brother. He may make himself unclean for his unmarried virgin sister and his immediate family. He is not to make himself unclean for those related to him by marriage, and so defile himself. Priests may not make bald spots on their heads, shave the edge of their beards, or make gashes on their body. They are to be holy in their God, and not profane the name of their God, for they present the food offerings to the Lord, the food of their God, and they must be holy. They are not to marry a woman defiled by prostitution. They are not to marry one divorced by her husband, for the priest is holy to his God. You are to consider him holy, since he presents the food of your God. He will be holy to you, because I, the Lord, who set you apart, am holy. If a priest's daughter defiles herself by promiscuity, she defiles her father, she must be burned to death. The priest who is the highest among his brothers, who has had the anointing oil poured on his head and has been ordained to wear the clothes, must not dishevel his hair or tear his clothes. He must not go near any dead person or make himself unclean, even for his father or mother. He must not leave the sanctuary, or he desecrate the sanctuary of his God, for the consecration of the anointing oil of his God is on him. I am the Lord. He is to marry a woman who is a virgin. He is not to marry a widow, a divorced woman, or one defiled by prostitution. He is to marry a virgin from his own people, so that he does not corrupt the bloodline among his people, for I am the Lord who sets him apart. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell Aaron, none of your descendants throughout your generations who has a physical defect is to come near to present the food of his God. No man has any defect is to come near. No man who is blind, lame, partially disfigured, or disformed. No man has a broken foot or hand, or is a hunchback or a dwarf, or has an eye defect, a festering rash, scabs, or a crushed testicle. No descendant of the priest Aaron who has a defect is to come near to present the food offering to the Lord. He has a defect and is not to come near to present the food of his God. He may eat the food of his God from what is especially holy, as well from what is holy. But because he has a defect, he must not go near the curtain or approach the altar. He is not to desecrate my holy places, for I am the Lord who sets them apart." Moses said to Aaron and his sons and all the Israelites. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons to deal respectfully with the holy offerings of the Israelites, that they have consecrated to me, so they do not profane my holy name. I am the Lord. Say to them, if any man from your descendants throughout your generations is in a state of uncleanness, yet approaches the holy offerings that the Israelites consecrate to the Lord, that person will be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. No man of Aaron's descendants who has a skin disease or discharge is to eat from the holy offerings until he is clean. Whoever touches anything made unclean by a dead person, or by a man who has an emission of semen, or whoever touches any swarming creature that makes him unclean, or any person who makes him unclean, whatever's uncleanness, the man who touches any of these will remain unclean until evening, and is not to eat from the holy offerings unless he has bathed his body with water. When the sun has set, he will become clean, and then he may eat from the holy offerings, for that is his food. He must not eat an animal that died naturally or was mauled by a wild beast, making himself unclean by it. I am the Lord. They must keep my instruction, or they will be guilty and die because they profane it. I am the Lord who sets them apart. No one outside a priest's family is to eat the holy offering. A foreigner staying with a priest or a hired worker is not to eat the holy offering. But if a priest purchases someone with his own silver, that person may eat it, and those born in the house may eat his food. If the priest's daughter is married to a man outside a priest's family, she is not to eat from the holy contributions. But if the priest's daughter becomes widowed or divorced, has no children, or returns to her father's house as in her youth, she may share her father's food, but no outsider may share it. If anyone eats a holy offering in error, he is to add a fifth to its value and give the holy offering to the priest. The priest must not profane the holy offerings the Israelites give to the Lord by letting the people eat their holy offerings and having them bear the penalty of restitution. For I am the Lord who sets them apart. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Speak to Aaron his sons and all the Israelites, and tell him, any man of the house of Israel or the resident aliens in Israel who presents his offering, whether they present payment of vows or free will gifts to the Lord as a burnt offering, must offer an unblemished male from the cattle, sheep, or goats in order for you to be accepted. You are not to present anything that has a defect, because it will not be accepted on your behalf. When a man presents a fellowship sacrifice to the Lord to fulfill a vow or a freewill offering from the herd or flock, it is to be unblemished to be acceptable. There must be no defect in it. You are not to present any animal to the Lord that is blind, injured, maimed, or has a running sore, festering rash, or scabs. You may not put any of them on the altar as a food offering to the Lord. You may sacrifice as a freewill offering any animal from the herd or flock that has an elongated or silver-limbed, but it is not acceptable as a vow offering. You are not to present to the Lord anything that has bruised, crushed, torn, or severed testicles. You must not sacrifice them in your land. Neither are you, a foreigner, are to present food to your God from any of these animals. They will not be accepted to you because they are deformed and have a defect. The Lord spoke to Moses, "When an ox, sheep, or goat is born, it is to remain with its mother for 7 days. From the 8th day on, it will be acceptable as an offering, a food offering to the Lord. But you are not to slaughter an animal from the herd or flock on the same day as its young. When you offer a thanksgiving sacrifice to the Lord, offer it so that you may be accepted. It is to be eaten on the same day. Do not let any of it remain until morning. I am the Lord. You are to keep my commands and do them. I am the Lord. You must not profane my holy name. I must be treated as holy among the Israelites. I am the Lord who gets you apart, the one who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord." The Lord spoke to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and tell them, these are my appointed times, the times of the Lord, that they will proclaim a sacred assemblies. Work may be done for 6 days, but on the 7th day there is to be a Sabbath of the complete rest, a scarce assembly. You are not to do any work. It is the Sabbath to the Lord wherever you live. These are the Lord's appointed times. The scared assemblies you are to proclaim to the appointed time. The Passover to the Lord comes in the 1st month, at twilight on the 14th day of the month. The festival of unleavened bread to the Lord is on the 15th day in the same month. For 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. On the 1st day you are to hold a sacred assembly. You are not to do any daily work. You are to present a food offering to the Lord for 7 days. On the 7th day there will be a scarce assembly. Do not do any daily work." The Lord spoke to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and tell them, when you enter the land I am giving you and reap its harvest, you are to bring the first sheaf of your harvest to the priest. He will present the sheaf before the Lord so that you may be accepted. The priest is to present it on the day after the Sabbath. On the day you present the sheaf, you are to offer a year-old male lamb without blemish as a burnt offering to the Lord. Its grain offering is to be 4 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil as a food offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, and its drink offering will be 1 quart of wine. You must not eat bread, roasted grain, or any new grain until this very day, and until you have brought the offering to your God. This is to be a permanent statute throughout your generations wherever you live. You are to count 7 complete weeks, starting from the day after the Sabbath, the day you brought the sheaf of the presentation offering. You are to count 50 days until the day after the 7th Sabbath, and then present an offering of new grain to the Lord. Bring 2 loaves of bread from your settlements as a presentation offering, each of them made from 4 quarts of fine flour, baked with the yeast. As first fruits to the Lord, you are to present with the bread 7 unblemished male lambs, a year old, 1 young bull, and 2 rams. They will be burnt offering to the Lord, with their grain offerings and drink offerings, a food offering, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. You are also to prepare 1 male goat as a sin offering, and 2 male lambs, a year old, as the fellowship sacrifice. The priest will present the lambs with the bread of first fruits as a presentation offering before the Lord. The bread and the 2 lambs will be holy to the Lord, the priest. On that same day you are to make a proclamation and hold a scarce assembly. You are not to do any daily work. This is to be a permanent statute wherever you live throughout your generations. When you reap the harvest of your land, you are not to reap all the way to the edge of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. Leave them for the poor and the resident alien. I am the Lord your God. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, in the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, you are to have a day of complete rest, commemoration, and trumpet blast, a sacred assembly. You must not do any daily work, but you must present a food offering to the Lord." The Lord again spoke to Moses, "The 10th day of the 7th month is the day of the anointment. You are to hold a sacred assembly and practice self-denial. You are to present a food offering to the Lord. On this particular day you are not to do any work, for it is the day of anointment, and to make anointment for yourselves before the Lord your God. If any person does not practice self-denial on this particular day, he is to be cut off from his people. I will destroy among his people anyone who does any work on the same day. You are not to do any work. This is a permanent statute throughout your generations wherever you live. It will be a Sabbath of complete rest for you, and you must practice self-denial. You are to observe your Sabbath from the evening on the 9th day of the month until the following evening." The Lord spoke to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, the festival of shelters to the Lord begins on the 15th day of the 7th month and continues for 7 days. There is to be a sacred assembly on the 1st day. You are not to do any daily work. You are to present a food offering to the Lord Lord of your 7 days. On the 8th day you are to hold a sacred assembly and present a food offering to the Lord. It is a solemn assembly. You are not to do any daily work. These are the Lord's anointed times that you are to proclaim a sacred assemblies for the presenting food offerings to the Lord, burnt offerings and grain offerings, sacrifices and drink offerings, each on his designated day. These are in the addition to the offerings for the Lord's Sabbaths, your gifts, all your vow offerings, and all your freewill offerings that you give to the Lord. You are to celebrate the Lord's festival on the 5th day of the 7th month for 7 days after you have gathered the produced land. There will be complete rest on the 1st day and a complete rest on the 8th day. On the 1st day you are to take the product of majestic trees, palm fronds, boughs of leafy trees, and willows of the brook, and rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. You are to celebrate it as a festival to the Lord 7 days each year. This is a permanent statute for you throughout your generations. Celebrate it in the 7th month. You are to live in shelters for 7 days. All the native-born of Israel must live in shelters, so that your generations may know that I am the Israelites live in shelters when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So Moses declared the Lord's appointed times to the Israelites. Okay.